You have been living in a prison you cannot see. The walls are built from your own thoughts. The guards are the emotions you refuse to control, and the door is unlocked, yet you do not walk through. Why? Because you do not believe you can. But in the next few minutes, you will see the truth that changes everything. You will learn to bend the invisible currents that shape your life, and once you see it, you will never go back. Before we go further, take a moment now, subscribe to this channel. Leave your mark with a like, because what follows may demand that you return to it again and again, until it becomes part of you. You are not a passenger in this life. You are the navigator, and the map is made of frequencies. Imagine standing before a vast ocean. The waves are the events, the currents are the unseen forces, and your mind is the ship. If you do not take the helm, the storm will decide your destination. But the moment you grip the wheel and align with the right current, the ocean begins to obey. This is not superstition, it is the law of cause and effect in its most refined form. Silence is your weapon. Picture yourself in the center of chaos. Voices shouting, news screaming, the world demanding your reaction. Every instinct tells you to speak, to defend, to respond. But the strongest warrior in history is the one who stands in silence, watching the battlefield with unshaken eyes. In that silence, you are not passive, you are absorbing, reading, waiting for the precise strike that will turn the tide. Detachment is not the absence of care, it is the refusal to be chained. Think of a bird flying with a thin thread tied to its leg. It can soar only so high before being pulled down. That thread is every attachment to what you cannot control. People's opinions, the past, the noise of uncertainty, cut the thread, and the bird does not lose, it gains the sky. Discipline is the bridge between desire and reality. Picture a sculptor standing before a block of stone. Each strike of the chisel is an act of will. If he stops too soon, the statue remains trapped within the rock. The life you seek is trapped within the stone of your habits. Strike every day, even when it seems nothing changes. Especially when it seems nothing changes, the mind obeys the images you feed it. Imagine closing your eyes and seeing not where you are, but where you choose to be. Your nervous system does not distinguish between a vividly imagined reality and one experienced in the physical world. Every image you hold is a seed. Hold the image of failure long enough, and the soil of your mind will grow it. Hold the image of mastery, and the soil will respond in kind. Power is not loud. The loudest man in the room is often the weakest. True power is measured by how little you need to prove it. Think of the mountain. It does not roar to show its strength. It simply stands unmovable while storms break themselves against it. Your power is not in how you react to every challenge, but in how little those challenges can move you from your course. History has always belonged to the few who understood alignment. The great empires rose not by accident, but by men and women who understood that internal order creates external order. Picture a general before battle. His soldiers are restless, his enemies fierce. Yet within him, there's perfect clarity. He knows the feel, the timing, the flow of the unseen. And so the battle is won before the first sword is drawn. Control is not about ruling others, it is about ruling the only kingdom you truly command, yourself. The impulses, the fears, the sudden urges to quit, these are the rebels within your walls. You can indulge them and watch your kingdom burn, or you can stand as the unshakable ruler, allowing no thought to pass that does not serve your vision. Imagine for a moment that every event in your life is a note in a great symphony, alone. Each note may seem meaningless, discordant, even painful, but the moment you rise high enough to see the full score, you realize every note, every pause, every sharp and flat was needed for the masterpiece to exist. From that height, nothing is wasted. The shift begins the moment you decide that. Nothing outside of you will determine what happens inside of you. This is the threshold. Once crossed, there is no return to the old way. The storms will come, the noise will rise, but the one who has shifted does not bend to it. You will walk through fire without burning, through shadow without losing the light. This is only the beginning, the first movements of a deeper awakening. But already, the air feels different, doesn't it? Stay with me, because what comes next will not just shift your thinking, it will shift the very ground you stand on. You must understand something before we go further. The shift you seek will demand a price. It will strip away the illusions you have carried for years, and when they fall, you may not recognize yourself. But that is the point. You are not here to protect who you have been. You are here to forge who you must become. Imagine standing before two doors. One is open, filled with light, but it leads back to everything you already know: safe, familiar, predictable. The other is closed, silent, and the key is in your hand. Behind it lies the unknown, new power, new clarity, new freedom. Most will walk through the open door because the mind craves comfort, but comfort is the slowest form of death. If you want life, step through the one you fear. Every weakness in you has been trained, and anything trained can be untrained. Picture a wolf raised among sheep. It forgets its nature, but the instincts remain, buried beneath layers of obedience and fear. The moment the wolf remembers what it is, it will never again live in the pasture. You too must remember what you are. There will be resistance, not just from the world, but from within. The old self will cling to you like a ghost, whispering, that change is too hard, that you are fine where you are. But you are not fine. Fine is a mask, and masks are meant to be torn away. When the voice of the old self rises, do not argue with it. Silence it. Move forward. Mastery is not a gift, it is a debt you pay daily. Think of the blacksmith, shaping steel in the forge. If he stops striking before the blade is finished, the metal weakens. If he strikes carelessly, the blade bends. Every thought you allow, every action you take is a strike of the hammer. Do it with precision. Do it with purpose. Control your breathing, and you will begin to control your life. In the heat of conflict, in the shadow of fear, the first thing to betray you is the breath. It grows shallow, chaotic. That chaos spreads to the mind, then to the body. But when you command your breath slow, deep, deliberate, you anchor yourself in the present. The storm may rage, but you are no longer in it. Consider the warrior who enters battle already victorious. His confidence is not arrogance, it is alignment. He has trained for the moment, studied the terrain, sharpened his weapons. Life is the same. You cannot predict every challenge, but you can prepare for any challenge, and preparation creates a presence so strong, the world begins to adjust to you instead of you adjusting to it. The greatest transformations happen in solitude. Imagine a seed buried deep in the soil. It is not seen, it is not praised, but it is there that the roots grow strong enough to break the surface. Do not fear the seasons of isolation. They are not punishment, they are preparation. You must learn to stop negotiating with your lower self. When you say you will rise early, rise early. When you say you will endure the pain of training, endure it. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken the bond between intention and action. And when that bond breaks, so does your power. The field around you responds not to your wishes, but to your state. You can beg for peace while radiating chaos, and the world will return to you exactly what you project. But when you stand unshaken, clear in thought, firm in will, the currents begin to shift in your favor. This is not magic. It is alignment between your inner frequency and the order you demand. Imagine your life as a fortress. Every thought is a stone. Every habit is mortar. If you allow doubt to enter, it will erode the walls from within. If you allow fear to stay, it will open the gates to chaos. Build your fortress with precision. Let only what strengthens you pass through its gates. This path will not feel like the life you have known. The noise of the world will fade. The things that once provoked you will lose their power. You will speak less, but when you speak, the room will listen. You will move less, but every movement will be deliberate. You will need no one's permission to be who you are. We have not yet reached the heart of the shift. The next step will take you into the place where thought becomes reality, where intention bends the field around you, and where every choice becomes an act of creation. If you are ready to enter that space, we continue. The space you are about to step into is not new. It has been here since the beginning. It surrounds you now, silent, unseen. The ancients spoke of it in whispers. The mystics lived by it, and though science now gives it names and theories, it remains what it always was, the field in which your life takes shape. Picture a still lake at dawn. The surface is calm, flawless. Drop a single stone into it, and ripples move outward, touching every shore. Your thoughts are those stones. Every belief, every emotion you release into the field sends ripples across. The unseen waters of your life, most live without noticing the stones they throw. But the one who watches, chooses, and releases with intent, commands the ripples. Energy follows attention. Imagine standing in a dark room with a single beam of light in your hand. Wherever you direct it, that place becomes visible. The rest remains in shadow. If you aim it at fear, fear grows. If you aim it at strength, strength grows. You are not powerless, you are the one holding the light. The field responds faster to who you are than to what you say. You can declare success while radiating doubt, and nothing will change. But shift your internal state. Stand, breathe. Think as the person who has already arrived, and the world begins to reorganize around that frequency. This is not pretending. This is becoming. Imagine a warrior who enters battle not to fight, but to shape the battlefield itself. He knows the wind, the terrain, the enemy's mind. He bends each to his advantage before the first clash. Life is your battlefield. You can fight endlessly against its conditions, or you can master the conditions themselves. Every outcome you fear exists only in the dimension of thought until you breathe life into it. Fear is a rehearsal for the very thing you wish to avoid. The more vividly you play it in your mind, the more solid it becomes in the field. Reverse the rehearsal. See the victory, feel it, hold it until it feels more real than the fear ever did. Control of self is the highest command. The emperor who cannot rule his impulses will lose his empire. The general who cannot rule his fear will lose the war. And you, the sovereign of your own being, will lose your life to chance if you cannot rule your mind. The field will test you, not because it is cruel, but because it answers not to your words, but to your alignment. You will declare peace, and chaos will come to measure your claim. You will declare strength, and obstacles will rise to prove whether you stand or fall. Do not curse the tested is the confirmation of your command. Imagine a single note played on a string. If the note is pure, it can resonate across vast distances, causing other strings to vibrate in harmony. You are that string. Your frequency will attract its echo. If you wish to change what you receive, change the note you are playing. There is no neutral. You are always creating, always shaping, always sending something into the field. The only question is whether you are doing it consciously or by default. Most live as if the currents of life are random, but nothing is random. Every wave has a source. Every outcome has a frequency, and you are the source. The shift becomes unshakable when you stop chasing and start attracting. Chasing comes from lack. Attracting comes from alignment. The magnet does not run after the iron, it draws it in by what it is. Become the magnet. The deeper you go into this understanding, the more you will see that life is not happening to you, it is happening from you. And when that truth becomes your foundation, you will stand in a place you ever reach. The next stage is where the true mastery begins, where you no longer just influence the field, but merge with it, becoming the source of every storm and every calm. This is where we go next. You are now standing at the edge of the final threshold. Beyond it, there is no return to the life you once knew. The illusions will not fit you anymore. The noise of the world will sound different, as if it belongs to a reality you no longer occupy. Imagine holding the reins of a wild horse. At first, it pulls against you, thrashing, resisting. This is your mind when you first begin the work, but over time, with patience and command, the animal bends to your will. It learns your pace, your direction, your intent. Then, one day, you no longer pull the reins, the horse moves with you. That is mastery. The field does not reward those who wish, it rewards those who become. To become, you must act as the vessel of the frequency you seek. If you desire peace, you must embody stillness. If you desire power, you must radiate certainty. Every thought, every breath, every movement must carry the signature of what you claim. You must learn to walk through the world as a shadow in the storm. The wind may rage, the sky may split, but you move without haste, without fear, not because you are blind to the chaos, but because you command something greater than it. Picture a great tree rooted deep into the earth. Its branches sway in the wind, but its trunk remains unmoved. That is the life built on alignment. The storms will pass, the tree remains. Be the tree. There will come a moment when your old self tries one last time to reclaim you. It will show you the comfort of familiar patterns, the safety of smaller ambitions, the approval of those who fear their own growth. That moment is the final test. Pass it, and the old self will dissolve like smoke in the wind. Remember this, the field is always listening. It listens when you speak, but it listens louder when you move. It listens louder still when you feel. The most powerful signal you can send is not your words, it is your state. Guard it, master it, command it. The journey you have begun is not a path you walk once, it is a discipline you live daily. The shift is not an event, it is a state you maintain, protect, and strengthen. You awake each day not asking what the world will give you, but deciding what frequency you will give the world. In time, others will feel the difference in you. They will not know why they listen when you speak, why they follow when you move, Why their own storms calm in your presence? This is the unseen power of alignment. You do not force, it is felt. The greatest freedom is not the absence of obstacles, it is the mastery of self. That makes no obstacle final. From here, you will still face challenges, but they will no longer define you. You will move through them as water moves around stone, shaping, flowing, unstoppable. Now picture yourself standing at the center of your life, aware of every ripple you create, every note you play, every frequency you project. Feel the weight of that power not as a burden, but as the privilege it is. You are not a leaf in the wind. You are the wind. This is where the shift becomes permanent. When you stop trying to change the world from the outside and begin commanding it from within. When every breath, every thought, every step is in alignment with the life you have chosen. So stand now, not as you were, but as you are becoming. The world will adjust to you, the field will answer you, and your life will bend to the frequency you hold. Shift your frequency, and you will shift your life.